Shanti, good evening to those of you who are able to be here live, and also regards to those of you tuning in later through the video. I wonder if any of you who are here wanted to begin by sharing anything or asking anything, and then Ranjan Ben will join us in a little while, and we'll read something. No? So maybe I can get us started off, and then if any of you want to come in, please do so. So I think the themes we've been getting this week in the Morally has firstly been around self-sovereignty, and Sunday's Morally was detailing to us the criteria that Baba is looking for. He's so clear. To have such a breakdown is very unusual. We don't really have this type of thing on the path of devotion. We know some things more generally, but Baba is very detailed. So he was saying to us that firstly, we're going to need to have singularity of sanskars. He wants complete purity. If we have a battle inside of us between the old and the new, then that's not self-sovereignty. And as human beings, we have so many parts to ourselves. We are never singular, not usually anyway. We're not singular, but we're much more complicated personalities. And the second one was being able to utilize Baba's treasures at the right time. And on the path of devotion as well, we know a lot of good things. We might remember scripture, we might remember slogans. Um, if anyone you talk to, they'll be ready to give you advice. There's no shortage of advice in the world. But being able to actually use that advice at the right time is a real art. And in the Iron Age, again, it's part of the human condition. We tend to regret. We tend to dwell and ruminate on what we should have done. And we'll make mistakes and we can tangle ourselves up in those mistakes. And Baba would say, well, that's not self-sovereignty. Self-sovereignty is getting it right. And Baba gives us treasures, particularly in the morning. So it's our Amrit Vela, where we gain Baba's love, and within Baba's love are the 8 powers. And then we hear the morally, and we gain Baba's knowledge, and we learn about the virtues. And then through the day, it's about using those things. And it can involve a change of attitude, change of mindset. Lady Jenki used to say that there's a mistake that some Brahmins make where they're listening to the morally for the purpose of explaining to others. And it's a subtle thing, but it's like an attitude that I'm learning in order to teach. And that's usually how we would treat knowledge. For example, doctors are very famous for not following any of the advice that they give their patients. You'll see a doctor, they'll tell you not to smoke cigarettes, and they themselves will smoke. They'll tell you to eat healthily, and they themselves have no control on their diet. They'll tell you to exercise, they don't do any exercise. So in the Iron Age, you can have a lot of knowledge just to share knowledge. There's not a requirement that you embody that knowledge. But here at Confluence Age, we have to have a shift of mindset, maybe, that we're listening to the morally because we intend to use those points during that day, during that week. So she used to say, you got to listen to the morally with that attitude. If you don't listen to the morally with that attitude, you'll know a lot of theory, but you won't actually become embodiments of experience. What's it like to use the knowledge? What works? What's not working so well? What do I need to adjust? So it has to be quite practical, really. And then the third thing Baba mentioned was that happiness is the greatest treasure. And no matter what happens, we must not let go of that. And again, that's so difficult in the Iron Age because just to in just to find happiness can be such a struggle in the Iron Age. And we can spend our whole life seeking happiness and never finding it. And we all know that just having many external successes doesn't necessarily make you happy. And here Baba's saying, well, happiness is actually a treasure from Baba. It's your priority. And it's this supersensory happiness in particular that Baba wants us to develop. Because temporary happiness is what it says on the tin, temporary. And, we're going to end up then with the sorrow that comes from losing the happiness, aren't we? But what Baba wants is this self-generating happiness, because actually the soul is the embodiment of bliss. And it comes up in the morally quite frequently, particularly around peace, that people are looking for peace. They want peace of mind. But the soul is actually the embodiment of peace. So the question should really be, if I am the embodiment of peace, I am Om Shanti. How come
Mm,
how come I'm not peaceful? So that Baba has quite a number of moralities on that narrative. And the same thing would apply to happiness, that if the soul is the embodiment of bliss, how come I'm not happy? And Baba says that's actually the pertinent question. And it's the impurities, we don't know how to think even. We don't know how to live. We don't know how to perceive. Baba teaches us all these things. So that's what unlocks the blissfulness inside of the soul. And then to maintain that bliss. So Baba's saying, can you reach a point where it's undisturbed? So that's really something. So this is the criteria, that singularity of sanskars, that ability to utilize the knowledge, the virtues, and the powers at the right time in your life, and the ability to develop undisturbed spiritual happiness. He said, when you got that, you were self-sovereign. And this is his criteria for the Golden Age. If we can do this at the end of the Iron Age, we've got Baba's help, of course, then we're ready. We're ready to be a leader in the Golden Age. And then the other theme coming up this week has been around God not being omnipresent. It's a major philosophical topic in the Morales, and probably it's the most popular belief around the world regarding God. It doesn't seem to matter really what religion you are. This is a very popular belief. And Baba has been focusing on the distinctiveness of Shibaba compared to angels, angels compared to deities, deities compared to religious fathers compared to great souls, and so on. And today, Baba was talking about the supreme soul, the soul, and nature. So again, we tend to mix everything up. We lose the distinctiveness and we blur the boundaries between these things. But what Baba is conveying is that you just cannot put anyone on Shri Baba's level. And this has been one of our major mistakes as we've gone through the path of devotion. Baba tells us that originally Hinduism was a monotheistic religion and that it was the Brahmins who were the first devotees at the start of the Copper Age, and that you only worshipped one incorporeal Rudra Shiva. But then, over time, we lost that focus, and we began to think about the angels, probably Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar, and then other deity gods and goddesses. We begin to worship nature. For example, another very popular belief is worshipping of the sun. You see that. What's very interesting is you see like the sun being the main god in cultures that could not have mixed. Uh, for example, you'll know the Japanese cultures, they call themselves the Sun Dynasty, and they believe their emperor is a descendant of the Sun Dynasty. And the Japanese flag is a white background with a red circle in the middle, symbolizing the sun. And there was a civilization which doesn't exist anymore, but it was centered around South America, particularly around modern day Peru, known as the Inca civilization. And they also had their main god as the sun. And they also saw their emperor as the descendant of the sun dynasty. So, you see these beliefs, right, the other sides of the world, and they never that Inca civilization had never even met anyone else outside of their region. Um, so you see these popular beliefs. We mix nature with Shiva, like Shiva is the sun of knowledge, but then we look at the physical sun, mix the two. So Baba has been talking to us this week about re-establishing this distinctiveness in our mind and intellect, that there really is no one on Shiv Baba's level. There really is no one like Shiv Baba. He is totally separate. And it is an interesting thing to think about how Shiv Baba doesn't even have an angelic body. And I was sharing this week how in Hindi, the word for incorporeal is nirakar, which literally means without a subtle body. And in English, we use the word incorporeal, which literally means without a corporeal body. So, if in Hindi, the English word would be nirsaka, without a corporeal body. And then there's the Hindi word niraka, without the subtle body. So Baba's saying that you can't even put him on the level of an angel because even an angel is too much expansion for Shambhala. Even an angel is too noisy because an angel thinks. Shiv Baba is silent. And it's this silence of Shiv Baba that's so interesting. So one thing I'll invite you to do, we do it in the early Amrit Velas and we can do more of it, but I'll invite you all to try it. is in your yoga practice, practice seeing Shiv Baba as this very silent point. It was many years ago, I would say maybe 30 years ago now. I used to be a student at the London, well, I suppose I still am, student of the London Centre. And Daddy Janki was our main teacher in those days. And I used to have the opportunity pretty much every day when firstly, to hear her read the Morley in Hindi. So I learnt a lot through that because um, sadly we didn't really record these things, but just the commentaries in between the points, they she would bring out things that aren't necessarily in her class recordings. So I benefited a great deal of how to hear the morally and understand the morally. And then I used to go and meet her briefly sometimes, maybe most days after the morally, just to discuss one or two points. So I was about 17, 18 at that time, but very interested, very focused on the morally. I would read the morally lots of times. I think all the moralies that we're hearing, I've read or heard them at least 100 times. So very, very interested. And I also was practicing my yoga at the time of hearing the morning. So what I wanted to do was develop the ability to be able to have yoga and concentrate on at the same time, because that can be tricky. And if you can't do both, you want to concentrate on the morning because you don't want to miss the morally points. But if you can do both, it's quite an interesting experiment. So I'll invite you all to try it. And I used to take notes as well, early days. In one or two more of these, it comes up that children should take notes when Baba speaks. And I can, so I was taking notes, I think, since I was a child. I used to originally sit in the English morally class, because I didn't speak Hindi until I was about 17, 18 years old. And one day, so in those days, Daddy Janki used to give the class first, and then we used to hear the Morley. So we would break for the Morley about 7:20 in the morning. And one time, stood up to go downstairs to the seminar room to hear the English Morley. And Daddy Janki told all of us young brothers, we were like 16, 17, 18, like that, 20. She said, all of you sit down. From today, you're going to hear the Hindi Morley. So that's how we were forced to understand Hindi. So I can remember for a while I sat there. I'm not sure how much I understood of the Morley, but bit by bit, I began to pick it up. And when I was hearing the Morley, I would practice the Global Corporation House main auditorium. There's a stage, and at the back of the stage is Baba's picture. So I would visualize Shiv Baba's soul and Brahma Baba's soul in the picture, in the center of the forehead of that picture. And in one Morali, Baba tells us that the way we should hear the Morali is you prepare your mind that Bap Dada are going to enter the room and speak the Morali. So it comes in, I think, a Morali from maybe 1970, something like that, 1979. And so I began practicing that whoever is reading the Morali, whichever sister it is, Baba is actually speaking the Morali to me. I shouldn't have any human being in my mind. And Baba said that don't think Baba is speaking to anyone else. Don't think that Baba spoke this Morali many years ago. he was talking to someone else, or he's talking to someone else in the room with you. Have the attitude, Baba's speaking with me. He's come now. And Baba said, the more you practice this, the more that feeling will grow. So I have begun practicing this. And I always have had such a wonderful experience. And over time, that experience has grown. And over time, actually, it developed so that I was able to almost visualize Baba's facial expressions as the Murali. So even now, when I hear the Murali, it's as if it's vivid. Like I practiced the yoga over many years. It's almost like a gift from like I can hear the Murali, but I can see Baba speaking the Murali. And when I hear the Murali. So I will invite you to practice that. And I remember one time, so this was going back to that story about 30 years back. Um, so I'm visualizing Shiv Baba's point and Brahma Baba's point in the forehead of the picture. And I was listening to Daddy Janki read the Morali, and I could see Shiv Baba's point was very still, and Brahma Baba's point was very active. And it was like I didn't think I had imagined it. It was something like new in my experience that had come up. So after the Morley, I told Devi Janki about this. And she said to me not to share it with anyone else because it could be confusing for people. And that's how she she left it with me. But she then said, well, you see, Shiv Baba is the seed. And it's something then that I thought about. And as we're hearing these moralities this week, really thinking about Shiv Baba as a point. He's saying, I'm Nirakar. I don't even have the expansion of an angelic body. And you see, an angelic body is still thought, like it's a form of thought. The mind is manifesting an aura. So it's an expansion of thought. And Baba says, like Brahma Baba, the angel, he operates on a subtle level of angelic thought. So his thoughts are very quick and they can reach many souls. But Shiv Baba is the silent seed. And my interpretation is that Shiv Baba doesn't even need to think for things to happen. And the silent thought, the silent seed combines with the soul of Brahma to become Bhakdeva. And Brahma Baba begins to churn. It's like Shiv Baba, he has all the knowledge. He's the ocean of knowledge. And as they combine, Brahma Baba begins to have different thoughts. He begins to have different ideas. And then through his body, he begins to hear Shiv Baba explain. But like for us, we would mainly like think and then speak like that. So, but for Shiv Baba, I don't think there's this gap of thought and speaking. It's like the words just emerge from the silence. And I went to a Christian primary school. Back in the day, actually, uh, yeah, I think all of us used to have Christian assembly. I think it was part of the curriculum, particularly on a Monday morning. And once or twice, we'd done some readings from Christian scripture. And might be the book of Genesis. There's like the first line. In the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was God. And of course, it's Christian religion, so they would equate that to Christ. But, when you think of it, when I used to hear that, and of course, we know that Baba is creating through the morning, in the beginning is the confluence, and there is the word. And from Shiv Baba, I don't think the words emerge from thought. They emerge from the silence of God. And if you look at the video, like when Bab Dada speaks the morally through Daddy Gulzar, and some of you will have met Baba, it's like there's the silence first. So when Bab Dada came into Daddy Gulzar's body, it was like the silence of the soul coming with Baba. And then the knowledge emerging from that silence. There's the silence and the love. And then the knowledge emerging from that silence and that love. So I'll invite you in your yoga to think on this and practice. So when you remember Shiv Baba, he's so subtle that he is just always the seed. He doesn't have any expansion. The only expansion is the knowledge that he speaks when he enters the body. But when he's outside of the body, he's always just the seed. And without even needing to think, he can make things happen just from his presence, just from his energy. And then you've got the angels, then you've got the deity. So Baba's been really instilling in our intellect this week that do you understand why Shiv Baba can't be omnipresent? Because you just cannot have anything on that level of purity. Even if a deity is pure, but they were impure. Like we might have purity, but that purity diminishes, and then now with Baba increases. But Shiv Baba is eternally untouched, unblemished. So there is no comparison. How can we say that he is inside of us? Like, how can we say he is part of this Iron Age world? He is just so distinct, so pure, so separate from everything. And he just is unique unto himself. The father who never has a father, the teacher who never has a teacher, the guru who never has a guru, this one soul who never is sustained. All other souls, like it comes in the morally that people worship Sri Krishna, but Sri Krishna is a baby, so he has a lot of sustenance, right? Shiv Baba is never sustained. The only soul, he is the sustainer. He's never sustained. So this week has been really about that, really picking up on what makes Shiv Baba unique to all others, and then sit with that point in your yoga, and you'll have new experiences and new feelings when you remember Baba. I wonder if any of you wanted to come in and say anything or ask anything. No, you're digesting that. Okay. So let me hand over to Ranjan to read a couple of things. Then we'll continue something. Yes, the book quoting. You skip the point. No. This, we'll read some points on concentration. This. Yeah, I'd forgotten that. Yeah, this is comes every day in the morning. Okay. So we're going to hear a few points on concentration. Om Shanti. Good evening to all. So Baba says, control your mind and increase the power of concentration.
Number one, only concentration of the mind will give you the experience of a constant stage. With the power of concentration, you can easily experience the angelic stage. The power of concentration and the power of being a master will easily free you from obstacles. The power of concentration and power of being a master will easily free you from obstacles. Concentration means to be able to stabilize your mind where you want, how you want, and for however long you want. Concentration means to be able to stabilize your mind where you want, how you want, and for however long you want. It means your mind is under your control. Number two, in order to experience the angelic stage in the corporeal form, pay attention to concentration of the mind. Keep your mind in order, that is control. Keep your mind in order means keep it under your control. Remain set on the seat of the stage of a master and of different elevated seats. That is the titles Baba gives us every day. So remain set on the seat of the stage of a master and of the different elevated seats. When any weak thoughts arise in your mind, end them there and then and become powerful. Make the foundation of thoughts strong and you will develop a weak attraction. Number three, for concentration of the mind, continue to move along on the rails of the drama second by second. In whatever way the drama is moving, let the stage of your mind continue to move along the same lines. It should not fluctuate even slightly. You should have the power to apply a brake or to steer your mind, that is, to use your power of thought. By doing this, the power of your intellect will not go to waste, and energy will be accumulated. The more you accumulate the power of your mind and intellect, the more your power to discern and take decisions will increase. Number four, in order to control your mind, surrender your mind and become completely surrendered. Then you won't be able to create any thoughts in your mind for your own self. Those who have been given the mind to the Father, those who have even given their mind to the Father can easily become man manabhav. So you know all that mantra, man manabhav. So man is mind, manabhav, bhav means engage your mind in me, in Baba, in Shiv Baba. By being Manmanabhav, you will easily become a conqueror of Maya. To surrender your mind means to surrender your waste and negative thoughts. So, to surrender your mind means to surrender your waste and negative thoughts. Number 5, when any thoughts arise in your mind, let there be honesty and cleanliness. Let there not be any rubbish of sinful actions, nature, and old sanskars within. Those who are honest in this way will be loved by all. Even the Lord is pleased with such honest children. Number 6, in order to create whatever stage you want at any time, let your mind perform the drill. So, in order to create whatever stage you want at any time, let your mind perform the drill. Come into sound in a second and go beyond sound in a second. For performing a task, come into physical awareness in a second and then become bodiless in a second. When this drill becomes firm, you will be able to face any situation. Number 7, now according to the time, imbibe the power to pack up your thoughts. Continue to pack the baggage of the expansion of thoughts, for only then will you be able to read the thoughts of others. You will be able to understand the motives in someone's mind with signals of the eyes. Just as when you come in front of Bapdada, Baba knows the thoughts and feelings in your mind without you telling Baba about them. In the same way, you children also have to study this final course. First, notice final course. So Baba, I think Baba is giving that this answer should be, because Baba says often, he has already given you the exam paper. In schools and universities, they keep them under lock and safety, security. Whereas here, this is the unique thing that Baba has already given us the paper, what the paper will be at the end in every day. And this Thursday message, the other day there was a message during the Easter Sunday, I think, Monday. Baba gave a message that there will be a lot of storms, you will face a lot of, but I think this, Baba, means if you study this course, then, huh?
Yeah.
Does it sound like that?
I think it was for Daddy Ratan Mohini's book, and Mohini Dedi
Yeah.
was also reminded by Baba that on Daddy Gozar's anniversary ball, Daddy Gozar said to all of us in March, this would have been 12th of March, she said to all of us to remember two things at the moment, that we have to have the power to pack up, samedna, and we have to use everything in a worthwhile way, safalaka. So Daddy was pointing out, and I think that's what this point is also saying, that you have to have the samedna, pack everything, your thoughts, And then everything practical you have, just keep using it in a worthwhile.
Yeah. And oh yes, I forgot it was Ratat Mohini. That is, it's today, Thursday, but they offered the book yesterday, on Wednesday. It was yesterday, the 8th, and there was a message, and it is an interesting message. Have you sent them?
Not here.
Yeah, Sheldon, we tried to send it. It's English. But in that, Baba's, you tell afterwards, you tell them a few bits about the. Shailen will tell you. I'll just repeat this. Shall I repeat this? And then in that, Baba gave us that we should now not go into expansion, but just speak in the essence now, and do a lot of tapasya, because things are going to get worse. And our yoga is not that good. There is a lot of deficit between the situation is more powerful than our yoga, fire of yoga. And so that message, but shall I? But I'll read this point again, shall I? It's number 7. Now, according to the time, imbibe the power to pack up your thoughts. Continue to pack the baggage of the expansion of thoughts, for only then will you be able to read the thoughts of others. You will be able to understand the motives in someone's mind with signals of the eyes, just as when you come in front of Bapdada, Baba knows the thoughts and feelings in your mind without you telling Baba about them. In the same way, you children also have to study this final course. Means people will come with all sorts of intentions or things. So, it's for our protection. But this is what Baba is pointing out, how our stage should be. So, number 8, your mind should stabilize where you want it to stay and not be used anywhere else. You should not be defeated by Maya, even in the thoughts of your mind. In order to create such a stage, keep your mind busy with pure thoughts in advance. When your mind is full of pure thoughts, there cannot be any waste thoughts, and you cannot be defeated. With the power of pure and concentrated thoughts, you can transform any type of atmosphere. So, with the power of pure and concentrated thought, you can transform any type of atmosphere. Number 9, when it is a special day, they stop for 3 minutes. Silence. When it is a special day, they stop for 3 minutes. Silence. And even the traffic is stopped from any kind of movement. They stop all the tasks that may be taking place. In the same way, when you are performing a task or speaking to anyone, then every now and again, practice stopping the traffic of your thoughts. So we have traffic control every 4 hours, but now it's frequent every hour as well. And or like Baba is giving example of Armistice Day. You know how we stop 3 minutes to remember the fallen ones. So, but whenever we have chance, Baba says, just stop for a few minutes and remind yourself and check your thoughts. Stop the thoughts in your mind for even a minute, or stop for a while the task you may be performing through the body, and practice this, and your thoughts will become powerful. Number 10, the complaint from the majority of you is that storms of waste thoughts create obstacles to becoming complete. So Baba has spoken a lot about waste thoughts in last few Avyak Mulis, because, and so Baba is reminding us that the complaint from the majority of you is that storms of waste thoughts create obstacles to becoming complete. This complaint will end when every day at Amrit Vela you make an appointment in your diary. So appointment with Baptada, that I'll be up at Amrit Vela, and whatever you wish to change, whatever weakness, whatever. So, but before going to bed, make an appointment and remember to keep it in the morning. So, but this is why Baba is saying about the waste thoughts. When you keep your mind busy, no, this complaint about having to end the waste thought, when the complaint will end when every day at Amrit Vela you make an appointment in your diary. When you keep your mind busy with an appointment for every moment, waste thoughts will not take up any of your time in between. So learn the method to book your time. So at every moment, keep the mind busy. 11. The closer you come to becoming equal to the Father, the more you will be able to catch the thoughts in the mind of all souls. For this, there mustn't be any mixture of your own thoughts. There has to be controlling power over your thoughts. Just as you can control your external activities, in the same way, control the activities of your mind. For this, constantly be aware at every moment, at every second, and in every action. I am on a stage. This world is a stage. And if when so many people are looking at you, you are more careful, you pay attention. So Baba is saying, I'm on a world drama stage. And so pay attention to what type of actions and what type of part you want to play, and what type of sanskars you want to have, what type of future. This is what Baba is saying, that this will help you. For this, just as you can control your external activities, in the same way, control the activities of your mind. For this, so to control the activities of your mind, constantly be aware at every moment, at every second, and in every action. I am on a stage. What is my present and future status? Number 12, according to the present time, now become great donors through your mind, for only then will you be able to become victorious over the thoughts in mind in a second. No matter how mischievous the thoughts of others may be, if their mind is not able to remain stable in one thought for even a second, then with the power of your victory, make them peaceful and still from mischievous for a short time. So this must be the power of your pure mind. controlling mind that would impact on them or others who are having fast and in negative thoughts. So Baba is saying our stage, no matter how mischievous the thoughts of others may be, if their mind is not able to remain stable in one thought for even a second, then with the power of your victory over your mind, make them peaceful and still, means immovable, still, from mischievous for a short time. So your thought, positive thought, will have a positive impact on their thought. Number 13, when there is concentration in your thoughts, you will be able to call anyone through your thoughts. You will be able to inspire anyone to carry out a task through your thoughts. Just as when you press a button, the whole scene comes on the TV screen. In the same way, whenever you have a thought for anyone, a clear picture will be drawn in that one's intellect. For this, continue with the discipline of Srimad you have received for your thoughts. So, discipline for the mind. Before Baba said, make a diary for your mind. Now Baba says, for such a high stage, for this, continue with the discipline of Srimad you have received for thoughts, for your thoughts. Nothing else should be mixed into them. Number 14, you are the messengers of the Almighty Government. Don't allow your mind to be disturbed when discussing anything with anyone. So it's a nice title to remember. You are the messengers of the Almighty Government. So this is a nice, Baba said, you sit on your seat. So it's a nice self-respect title to sit on. You are the messengers of the Almighty Government. Don't allow your mind to be disturbed when discussing anything with anyone. Do not let there be any difference in the stage of your mind or your face due to any situation. Always remember the mantra. So Baba gave us the mantra about man manabhav. So Baba said, always remember the mantra. And also I am on the world drama stage. So that will transform your thoughts, everything, and play a good part. Whenever any situation, always remember the mantra. Whenever any situation comes in front of you, then experiment with the eye of soul consciousness. So I is E by E, is, third eye. Then experiment with the eye of soul conscious vision and the mantra of man manabhav, and that situation will end. So any situation. So practice of all that. So that was nice, wasn't it? So all 14 points was about for concentration and mind. And next time it will be closeness of time, become an object angel. So this 14 we can practice all week, see about the mind. Okay, you want to?
So following on from those points about Shibaba and how Baba is constantly in the essence. So what these points seem to be all conveying is, have you thought about bringing change through not thinking. Our sanskar is to think and speak and do. And this is the world that we know. If you want to do anything, you want to achieve anything, you think, you speak, you do. But Shiv Baba doesn't do that. Shiv Baba is silent. And from the silence, he's able to do everything. So Baba is saying that, can you train your mind in this way? And I think it didn't come in these points, but it's actually really a regular topic. Don't put a question mark. Don't put an exclamation mark. Just put a full stop. And one of the early points was phrasing it in this way, that you have the rails of the drama. So in Hindi, drama ke patte par chalte rehna hai. The drama is a train, and the drama never goes backwards. It never goes right, it never goes left. It just goes in its own direct. It has its own momentum, has its own direction. And sometimes we can be battling the drama. Sometimes we can be resisting, we can be frustrated, we can be angry, but the drama is still going to go in its own way. So, what is the point of that? So, Baba's saying instead of that, just sit on the train, keep your mind on the rail and move with the drama. Everything that comes, it will pass. If you're on a train, the scenery is always changing, correct? You are not staying in one place. And this is how the drama, just day by day, it's like we don't perceive it that way because we have the illusion as a human being that we are just still in one place. So we don't think that today was the drama, the scenes of the drama passing. We don't think in that way. But actually, you, the soul, are on your own journey around the cycle. So you are on a train. The scenes that have come today, they are the side scene that you passed. You are heading towards your next life. This is just the way it is. So we have to practice just being with the flow of the drama. And instead of trying to sort things out, let's be manmanabha. Let's experiment with that. So we just concentrate our mind on Baba and don't think. And see if that not thinking actually changes. And the more we try that, it actually feels more and more natural. And we begin to witness some success. So if you begin to witness some success through this method, you'll do it more. You will get more motivated to do it. So let's experiment with that this week. Would any of you like to make any comments or ask anything?
You want to share the yesterday's book with us?
Sripali Benam Shanti.
Om Shanti. Um, I especially like the point of honesty. Um, Honesty attracts love, Baba says, and that I don't think I've heard that before. But because Baba has been telling to remember him by love, with love. Um, so yeah, I think it comes at the right time. Uh, because some things were taking my attention off my, and I was feeling all over the place. But I feel, yeah, staying honest with Baba and just whatever it is, staying on the rails of the drama, it's moving. I don't want to be left behind. So yes, moving on. I also feel that work, which is Lokik work, sometimes it's helpful because it just takes you off from these kind of thoughts that may occur. Um, Especially when in the family things happen, and so work sometimes engages the mind very much, and that kind of helps sometimes. Yeah.
Yes, I think so too. I mean, I always enjoy my job. I think one thing for me is that I actually don't have any difference in enjoyment, whatever I do. So I like whatever I'm doing, I just feel the same enjoyment. And I think that whether it's work, whether it's Baba service, whether it's duties in the house, whatever it is, I think if we just enjoy that action as well, that also does become a good diversion for the mind, you know. So, like you're saying, otherwise we can be just dwelling on things too much. And the thing about honesty, it's translated that way. The word in Hindi would be sachai, and depending on the context, that could be honesty, that could be integrity, that could be sincerity as well as truth. So I think you also have to think about that context. So I perceive it more like one honesty is like just admitting something. But when Baba's saying that सच्चाई स्नेह को आकर्षित करती है, it's like way, and also another translation is earnest, being earnest with something. So when you see someone who is making some earnest endeavor, you do feel that love for them. Because even if they're not perfect in that, they really are trying. This is, I think, the spirit behind that point. And sometimes with our yoga, sometimes with other things, self-transformation, we're not that good at it, or we're not that successful with it. But it's about this earnest, sincere perseverance a lot of the time. So Baba gives us a lot of love. Lady Janki used to say this to me, that a lot of change in me was because Sache Dil Ki Yaad, this sincere remembrance, and that kabhi chhodta hi nahi. I just never stop trying. So a lot of it in my experience is just keep going with things. And if you're doing it with your heart, your yoga might not be good one day. You know, you wake up sometime at Amrit Veda, and actually so many thoughts are in the mind. And I used to find, not so much now, but I used to find that maybe like one of the reasons I used to get up for early Amrit Veda is because it would take me 90 minutes just to even get the thoughts out of my mind. Then I'm remembering better. It would like take so long just to get. So I would wake up 2 a.m. Maybe by 3:30 I'm remembering back. Because actually there's just so many thoughts in the mind. So it's about just keeping going. Just keep going, keep going. And I think that is what it means by this sachat, that you kept going with sincerity, and then you get Baba's love. And it's Baba's love that then brings that change within us. You don't have to be perfect.
True, very true. I feel also that the soul yearns to be perfect, I feel sometimes. It just becomes very challenging um, when a lot of things are there that the soul wants to do and isn't able to do. So, kind of making it calm down and That kind of. But when a sentence like this comes, it feels good.
Yes. So again, another my loving advice to brothers and sisters is don't become focused on results. So we have to love the effort, not the result. And this will then lead to greater contentment. So I never try to be perfect in anything. And I never really chase after desire. It came as a slogan the other day that desires will be like a shadow. So you just be chasing your shadows anyway. You'll never catch them. So in this way, just love the endeavor, love the effort, love the try. And then the result, I just leave to Baba and the drama, really. Whether that's self-transformation or whether it's something else. But we had those points last month about faith. So I feel that if we are running after desires and results, it's actually lack of faith, in my opinion, because the result will come in the drama, the time. Like there's a season for anything. And when it's time for the fruit to emerge, it will just emerge. In the Morally, Baba says you'll have some tree, the fruit comes very quickly. And I think he says there's like mango tree, it comes after like 2, 3 years. Like it is some fruit, it does not come quickly. Some fruit, it comes quickly. So that's the drama. And just to be worried about the result is to miss the drama as well, misunderstand how the drama works. But I have to have this endeavor and love the endeavor. Let me love the Amrit Vela and the checking and the study and the change. And then whatever we do, as I say, just have love for the action. We mustn't have the body consciousness that we like to do some things and we don't like to do other things. We must just do what needs to be done. And whatever we do, we must do it with our heart. And if we do it with our heart, actually we can gain pleasure from small things as well. So I feel that and then the final one, we must eliminate comparison. So I really don't compare with anything or anyone, just for many years now. And other people will compare me. They will say, oh, he's not as good as this, he's not as good as that one, he's not. But I actually don't compare. So it doesn't matter to me. And I feel comparison takes us away from self-respect. There's a saying in England, I don't know if it's the same in your countries. Comparison is the killer of joy. Comparison is the killer of joy. It's very true. That it just doesn't allow us to be content with anything. Everything we do, someone else has to have it better, or why? Just let me be content with where I am, what I have. Let me be content with my efforts. Okay, I can do better, but today I did this much. Well, let me be content with that as well. And then tomorrow let me try and improve on that one. So I feel that these are key points. Don't get attached to results, don't get focused on results, don't chase desires, and don't compare. And this for me is formula for consistent contentment. I don't really go up and down. Just, I'm living in my lane. Gina Teri Gali mein. I just am in my lane. I am not worried about that one. And in the song it says, live in your lane, die in your lane. But it's like uh, I don't feel a need at all to prove myself. I don't feel a need to compare and be better, or I'm worse than someone, I'm better than someone. Why do I even need to think like that? It's not even important. And so let me just be in my lane. And I found that to be very, very helpful and useful. And I think that it just comes in that way. So by that, I found it works quite well. And last time I was in New York, actually, probably the last time we met, after we left Chicago, we went to New York. And we were with Moini Didi for the Thursday Borg offering. And Baba gave me a message that time, just like one line. So after she met everyone on the Avyak Parivar, after that, we were taking Toli, and she said that Baba sent the message for me that Saput ho or Sabut dere, that you are worthy and you are giving the proof. And so it was like a nice confirmation. But that worthiness is not based on comparison. Not that I am worthy compared to someone. Yeah. It's just the worthiness that I am doing my best, my in earnestness, my sincerity. I think that is the worthiness. That is the proof of it.
So has it, this might be a question for another time, but has it never ever been that you fall off from your timetable or you deviate? Um, so then how is your response to that kind of thing, if it
Uh,
at all happens?
oh, okay. So yeah, not really now. I mean, so maybe it happened in the past,
Okay.
but not really now.
Oh,
Yeah, I am quite strict. So with that one. And then as you know, when we met Jayanti Didi, I was saying to her that all of you make me accurate. Because I tell you, I wake up at like 1:45 in the morning. Some BKs are there on the Zoom, like before I am there. So I have to get up. And then of course, I'm recording. I have to hear the morally because actually if I miss one day of the recording, I will get messages. Yeah, where is your recording? If I'm even late by some hours, we have not received your recording. So I have to hear the morally every day anyway. I would anyway do it, but actually, the Brahmin family gives me good company to make me accurate and keep me accurate. So that is working very well for me. So I think you have to also, within your context, maybe think of something. Before coronavirus, we used to have a Morley class in the home as well. And the students would come at 5:30. So again, it makes you accurate for that. So maybe you can think of some practical method as well. If you're finding that the timetable is not as accurate as it should be, how can you do that? And find some practical way of, I don't know, in your center, people can help each other with that, or so how that can be done. Think on that. But generally, I am being kept accurate by all of you. So I think now it will not even be possible for me not to be. Okay, I think let's stop now and have a few minutes of Baba's remembrance. Thank you for that. Oh yes, I just saw the question. So the book that we were reading from is Precious Gift of Divine Signals. And this one, let me see if I can find a PDF version, then I can put it up for you all. But the Avyakt points are from nowadays. I think this might be from 20, 25 years ago. So um, this was from, like with the Madhuban newsletter that comes every month, they have some points after that. So this is a book of compilation of those points for some months. So that's what we're hearing. It's good to repeat them. But let me see if I can find the PDF of that one. So, but in case you can find it yourself, The name of the book is Precious Gift of Divine Signals. And maybe we got it like an 18th January gift. I don't know. I'm not sure if we bought this book or
We used to get this quite a lot.
we were given this.
Yeah, every time. But these are from 80s, 90s.
No, I think more recent than that. Maybe about 20s. Okay, let's have some remembrance. And this one also is the live feed of the Tower of Peace. So, what is it about? So it'll be about maybe 1 a.m. There. So let's join with our mind and through the technology.